Hello everyone and welcome. Whether you're here live or watching the replay, I'm so glad you've made it. This is the launch session of Stop Drifting. Start living on purpose, and we're going to spend the next 6 days together. Every session is recorded. You'll get the replays and the slides, so you don't need to write everything down. Just be here. Let me tell you who this is for. This is for you if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're struggling to switch off, if you feel disconnected from where you actually want to be. Maybe you're in some kind of transition and you know something needs to change, but you can't quite name what. You want to live more intentionally and you don't know where to start. If any of that landed, you're in exactly the right place. Here's the shape of the week. Today is about why this matters, and you'll take your own starting point reading. Day 1, we go into the hidden cost of drift, what it's actually costing you. Day 2 is understanding yourself, your archetype, and how you're naturally wired. Day 3 is AI for humans, my philosophy on building technology for human flourishing. Day 4 is the repeating patterns that might be running your life. And Day 5, we design your life intentionally. That's where we're going. Let's start. Before anything else, I want to be clear about what this isn't. You don't need another productivity hack, you don't need another planner, and you definitely don't need to push harder. I know that's probably what you've been doing, because it's what capable women do. Something feels off, so you add a system, add an app, get up earlier, try harder, and it works. Briefly, and then you're back where you were with one more thing to maintain. This week is not about adding, it's about coming back to who you actually are. I call it recalibration, not reinvention. You don't need to become someone new. You need to find yourself again and build from there. Here's the belief this whole week is built on. The most dangerous place to be in life isn't unhappy, it's fine. Think about how often you say it. How are you? Fine. How's work? Fine. How are things at home? Fine. Fine sounds neutral, harmless even, but most of the time it's not a description, it's a shortcut. It's a way of compressing everything you're actually feeling into something socially acceptable. A way of moving on quickly instead of pausing long enough to ask, what am I actually feeling right now? And here's the danger. When you're unhappy, you know something's wrong. Unhappiness demands action, but fine doesn't. Fine is comfortable enough to stay in, so everything becomes fine. Your relationship's fine, your job fine, the things that aren't working, you tolerate them. That tolerating has a name, it's called drift, and that's what we're here to interrupt. I want to show you what my version of fine looked like, because I'm not teaching you this from a mountaintop, I'm teaching it from the middle of this slide. Chaos, burnout, stress, spinning plates, too many demands, constant noise, constant distraction, overthinking, self-criticism, tension I carried in my body, back pain I just accepted as normal, ADHD, overwhelm, before I even knew that's what it was, trying to keep everything together. On paper, things looked good. I'd built a career, built companies, won awards, and I was functioning. But I was not thriving, I was surviving. And that's me, right in the middle of it, smiling, fine. What changed everything was that I stopped and had a complete rethink of how I was living. I went deep into psychology, neuroscience, habit science, human design, burnout, a late ADHD diagnosis landing at the same time as menopause, failures, starting again. I lived all of it, and out of that came everything I'm going to share with you this week. If you recognize yourself anywhere on that slide, I want you to hear this clearly. Nothing has gone wrong with you. You've been living in ways that no longer work. That's it, and that can change. Because here's the thing, the problem isn't you. We are living in a world designed to keep us in drift. Notifications, constant information, pressure to perform, to keep up, to have it all figured out. Your attention is being pulled in 100 directions before you've even had breakfast. This experience is about taking that back, taking back your attention, taking back your awareness, being intentional about how you live instead of letting the noise decide for you. So what will you actually get from these 6 days? By the end of this experience, you'll have a clearer understanding of why you feel overwhelmed, disconnected, or stuck, because you can't change what you can't see. You'll have greater awareness of the patterns shaping your life and your decisions. You'll have your human design profile and a new perspective on how you're naturally wired. This one has genuinely changed how I work and live. You'll understand how AI and the changing world of work may affect your future and how to be ready for it rather than anxious about it. You'll get clarity on what's no longer working, and what matters most in this season of your life, not 20 years ago, now. And most importantly, you'll leave with a renewed sense of direction. One of my mentors calls it your now goal. By day 5, I want you to know yours. That's the promise of the week. Reflection, some practical exercises, and getting genuinely curious about your own life, because that's where meaningful change starts. And a gift. Everyone who's part of this masterclass will get a free audio copy of my new book, Stop Drifting, Start Living on Purpose, Live Intentionally in the AI Era. It's coming very soon, and you'll be among the first to have it. Everything in it I've applied to my own life first. It's about discovering what you want now, not what you wanted 20 years ago, and building an ambitious life you love without abandoning your authentic self. You don't need to do anything, it'll come to you for being here. A little more about me, so you know whose hands you're in this week. I've been in business for over 30 years. I was head of digital for a company we scaled into 30 countries. Then my daughter and I founded our own startup, Sustainably, which became Richard Branson's Startup of the Year. I'm one of the BIMA 100, the top people in digital in the UK. I've won awards, raised investment, taken products to market, and I've also burnt out, failed, and started again. Both halves of that CV matter this week. These days I do a few things. I speak and run workshops on the future of work, responsible AI, and holistic balance. I coach one-to-one coaching for leaders who want to sustain success without burnout, and AI coaching for business owners. And I mentor across programs like Techstars, CivTech, and TechScaler, because helping the next generation matters to me. And how I think, in one slide, calm systems beat busy systems. The goal is clarity, not constant motion. Technology should support humanity. Tools should help you live better, not distract you from what matters. And when we build with AI, we build AI that deserves trust responsibly, ethically, with humans in the loop. That conviction runs through everything this week, and we'll go deep on it on day 3. I've also just become a grandmother. I now have an amazing granddaughter, and honestly, that sharpened everything for me. It's why I campaign for safe and ethical AI, and it's why helping other women build lives they don't need to escape from feels so urgent to me. One thing I want you to know, nothing this week is woo with no floor under it. Everything I teach sits on 4 foundations: psychology, neuroscience, habit science, and human performance. When I tell you your body stores what your mind ignores, that's not a slogan, it's how your nervous system works. When I tell you small habits compound, that's behavioral science. We'll bring the science in all week, in plain language. Out of everything I learned, I built something. It's called Balance OS, the operating system for your life. It combines AI coaching, structured reflection, and vision planning into one calm system. Everything I'd been learning, applying to myself, and teaching in one place. No rigid rules, no overwhelming complexity, just a clearer path forward. You'll see it in action during the week. And the whole philosophy is on this poster. Your day creates your life, not your 5-year plan, not the big dramatic reinvention, the ordinary Tuesday, small daily habits, massive emotional returns. When I did my own reset, a few fundamental truths came out of it. These are on the wall of everything I build. Your body stores what your mind ignores. Keep pushing feelings down and your body will keep the score. Tension, exhaustion, illness, mine did. Positivity isn't pretending, it's choosing. You get to decide what you focus on. You can focus on everything that's not working, or you can decide to focus on making things better. That's not denial, that's direction. Joy is not a mood, it's a strategy. This is a big one for me. If you actively look after your joy levels, if you deliberately do the things that make you come alive, your whole life starts to shift. Joy isn't the reward at the end, it's fuel. Small daily habits equal massive compounding returns. You don't change everything in one dramatic day. You make small changes consistently and they compound. And the one that holds them all, live on purpose, not on autopilot. And where does all of it start? With you. Not your job, not your family, not your circumstances, you. Now let me show you the map for the whole week, my framework for moving from life drift to life alignment. 5 stages. I'll walk you along it quickly because you're going to live in it for the next 5 days. Stage 1, drift. Something feels off but you can't name it, you're busy but not fulfilled. Days blur together, you react to life instead of directing it. Career crossroads, burnout, going through the motions. Most of us start here and recognizing it is genuinely the first step. Stage 2, reset. You pause and take an honest look at where you are. What's working? What isn't? Where's the gap between where you are and where you want to be? That's what we're doing today. Stage 3, design. You define what a meaningful life looks like for you. Your values, your vision, your ideal day, because purpose isn't found, it's designed. We build this on day 5. Stage 4, systems. Clarity becomes structure. Daily, weekly, and monthly rhythms across mind, body, relationships, and purpose, because you don't rise to your goals, you fall to your systems. And stage 5, alignment. Your daily actions reflect your deepest priorities. Life is no longer reactive. You protect what matters. You design each day with purpose. That's life in balance, and it's a trajectory, not a finish line. Drift, reset, design, systems, alignment. That's the journey. And it starts with knowing exactly where you are on it. Which brings us to the one thing I want you to actually do today. We're going to take the balance reset together right now. Go to balance.ai/reset. It takes about 4 to 6 minutes, and it will tell you 3 things. Your life alignment stage, where you actually are on the journey I just showed you. Your balance archetype, you'll be somewhere between explorer and architect, and we'll work with your archetype properly on day 2. And your flow score, a snapshot across mind, body, relationships, and purpose, showing which area of your life needs the most attention first. I want to say this clearly. Your result is not a grade, it's a starting point. Wherever you land, nothing has gone wrong. You can't design a route without knowing where you're starting from. This is the honest look. So balance.ai/reset, open it now while we're together. If you're on the replay, pause me here and go and do it. I'll give you a few minutes. Pause the video here if you're watching the recording. Welcome back. Keep your results somewhere you can see it. Your archetype and your flow score are the raw material for the whole week, and day 2 is built directly on them. And one piece of housekeeping while we're here, check your email for a message from me at balanceos.com asking for your date, time, and place of birth. That's for your human design profile, how you're naturally wired, and we'll combine it with your archetype on day 2. Check your spam folder if you can't find it. Once you have your archetype, balance will suggest a challenge on the pillar that's weakest for you right now: mind, body, relationships, or purpose. Structured 15-minute daily challenges designed to build lasting habits. My recommendations start with 1, just 1, because the pillars are interconnected. If your mind is struggling, it shows up in your relationships and your sense of purpose. If your body's running on empty, it shows up in your mood. Strengthen the weakest pillar, and the others start to lift with it. That's the ripple. And people ask me how this is different from just using ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude. Here's the difference. People use ChatGPT to think faster. They use Balance OS to live better. One is a brilliant general purpose tool. The other is purpose-built for clarity, habits, and human well-being, with an ethical framework built in to guide you. That's the responsible AI conviction made real. Now, the last exercise of today, and my favourite one, I want you to write a letter to your future self. Imagine yourself 10 years from now and write to her. Describe your life, your achievements, how you feel, the person you've become. Make it heartfelt, a message from your present self to your future self, filled with love, dreams, encouragement, and a deep understanding of who you are. And here's the important part. Write it as if the current limiting circumstances and the limiting beliefs weren't there. Don't write what seems realistic. Write what you actually want. That letter is data. We're going to use it on day 5 when we design your life. Take 5 or 10 minutes. If you're on the replay, pause here. If you can't finish it now, come back to it this weekend, but start it now while something's stirring. Welcome back. How is that? If something surprised you when you wrote it, pay attention to that. Surprises in that letter are usually desires you've been ignoring. 2 last ideas before I let you go. Anything worth having takes focus. Notice the strike through on that slide, not time, focus. This is a journey, not a destination. And what carries you along it isn't waiting for the right moment. It's focus on your now goal, the next right move from where you are. Not where you wish you were, where you are. And this is how the whole thing works. On one slide, 2 lines. The orange one is drift. No clarity, days blurring, gently sliding away from your goals without ever deciding to. The other one is the Belante's daily loop. Clarity, then progress, then flow, moving towards your goals. Same 24 hours. The difference is whether your day was designed or defaulted. Your day creates your life. That's the whole method. So here's where we are. Today you learned the belief underneath the week. The most dangerous place to be isn't unhappy, it's fine. You've seen the map: drift, reset, design, systems, alignment. You've taken your reset, you know your archetype and your flow score, and you've written to the woman you're becoming. That's a genuinely strong start. Most people never take that honest look you just did. On day one, we go deeper into drift, what it actually looks like, why it goes unnoticed for years, and what staying fine is really costing you emotionally, physically, and practically. Bring your reset result with you. If you haven't taken it yet, balance.ai's reset. It's the ticket for the rest of the week. Let your days reflect your purpose, not your distractions. I'm Laurel. This is balance, clarity, progress, flow. See you on day one. Bye, everyone.